The best of money matters. Right Business.
Welcome to The Right Business, where we dive deep into the stories of trailblazers who dare to disrupt the status quo, find the gap in the market to find the right business. Hello, I'm Hongbin Jeong. Now imagine a sport that challenges your mind as well as your muscles, a test of strength, strategy, and sheer determination. Bouldering isn't just a workout, it's a lifestyle and a community. But one bouldering gym goes beyond just living an active lifestyle as they aim to build an environmentally conscious community as well. And that is none other than Boulder Planet, where they encourage exploring your body's natural aptitude for movement and while moving to create climate-aware and climate-responsible global citizens. So joining me today to share more is Patrice Verosil, who is a co-owner and director of Boulder Planet of Southeast Asia. Hi, Patrice. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Patrice, talk us through Boulder Planet. I mean, what exactly is bouldering? Like, how is it different from the typical rock climbing we are familiar with?
Okay, so bouldering is a type of rock climbing where there are no ropes or harnesses involved, and it's about 4 to 6 meters high. And what you have instead are really thick landing mats where you can land on. So the focus here is more short bursts of climbing as opposed to traditional climbing where there are ropes and harnesses and usually high, so it's about endurance. So one thing that I really love about bouldering is that it taps into that inner child habit that we have, that we learn. We climb on everything. We climb on trees, we climb on the playground, we climb on anything when we were a child. So doing bouldering taps into that same childlike instinct.
Right. Sounds like you could be your very own Spider-Man.
Yes.
And climb on walls. Well, Boulder Planet has other branches here in Southeast Asia, namely in Bangkok, Indonesia, and of course here in Singapore. However, Boulder Planet is the only bouldering gym in Singapore that adopted an outer space theme. But before we dive into that, I wanna know how you decided to create Boulder Planet.
So for myself, when I started climbing about 14 years ago, the main reason why I joined is because I had fear of heights. And so I wanted to force myself to be in a situation in which I have to face it.
You have to face your fears, right?
So with that in mind, I think Boulder Planet is a space where we want people to challenge themselves and put themselves in a situation they might not usually put themselves in, and then realize that they can actually conquer and do things beyond what they can imagine.
So is it safe to say that now you're not afraid of heights anymore?
Actually, I still am. But I'm better at managing my fear. I have found ways to keep myself calm, and I can tap into my past experiences, and I know that I will be okay.
Oh, okay. Okay, so what sparked the inspiration behind why you decided to go with this theme, the outer space theme?
So exploring is something that is inherent in climbing, because when you are climbing, there is a start point and an end point, and the goal is to get to the end point. But how you're going to get there is unknown. So it's like when you go into space, it's otherworldly. There are things that you might not have known. And so there is this exploratory experience to it, but all you have to do is have the curiosity to see what's out there.
Okay. Now I'm curious because I want to know about the obstacle courses at Boulder Planet. What is the process behind the, route setting at Boulder Planet, and how do you maintain variety and challenges for those climbers?
So how we put up challenges, or what we call boulder problems, is quite thoughtful. So we have to take into account the different skill set that people are going to bring, from really first timers to maybe some of them advanced. Body is also very different. Some people may have longer arm span, some people could be taller, some people could be shorter. So for the people that put up the climb, we call them route setters. It's really important for them to be mindful and empathetic of different body shapes and sizes, and also what they want to elicit, like the kind of feeling that they want you to have as you are climbing. Like, will they be like, oh, you're scared, right? But actually it's really good if you go for it, that kind of feeling. So that's how we want to do our problems at Boulder Planet. We also refresh our climbs every week.
Oh.
So I think that's the beauty of climbing, because if you go in traditional gymming, you have to use the equipments that are there, and usually it's the same.
And it's very routine. You're going over
Yes.
it over again, right?
Yes. So
Right.
in climbing, we refresh every week. So there's novelty and fun to it. You're not coming back to the same thing.
Sounds amazing. So you have people coming back just every week, just to experience the new kind of theme or new little courses for them. Now, how do these obstacle courses then manifest the cultivated problem-solving skills within your climbers?
So when you climb, it's not always a straightforward where, okay, start point, straight up, go, and that's the end point.
Okay.
Sometimes the holds are placed in certain positions such that you have to put in a certain level of technique, flexibility, movement, or maybe we put a smaller holds. So there's a challenge in terms of like being able to catch and having that accuracy in reaching the move. So being able to put all of that into the experience trains your problem solving. It also trains your own patience because it's not going to be something that is given to you straight away. You kind of need to work for it a little bit. And so having that patience, having that resilience, being able to come back to the climb every time you fall down. This is a skill set that you would apply even in life, right? When problems arise, be it at work, in your own personal relationships, these are the same things that you would have to go through. So for me personally, that has what climbing has taught me, to get back up every time I fall.
Oh, wow. That's very inspiring. I mean, you mentioned there you would have, maybe you replace a rock with a smaller rock or take it out. Do you have to test it before you release it to the public?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
So that's the main challenge of our route setters. So at Boulder Planet, our climb are actually progressing. So we start with a grade 1. And currently, the maximum grading is at grade 12. So you can actually see your progress in terms of like level. So for beginner climbers, they would usually stay around level 1 to 4 probably in their first couple of months. But if they stick to it, they end up moving towards the higher grades as they continue training and practicing the movements.
Very interesting. Well, not only do you provide a space for climbers to experience bouldering, but you also hold workshops to teach as well. Something that I want to know about more is what challenges do you usually face when you conduct these workshops?
I think one of the main challenge is that I think generally adults are very scared to become a beginner again, right? That sense of I need to get it right the very first time. I'm can't
a pro
fall.
at this.
Yes, or if I fall in front of all of these people, it's kind of embarrassing.
Yeah.
But the beauty of climbing is that falling is part of the celebration. If you really think about it in terms of statistics, you are falling more than you are reaching the top. So celebrating being falling and trying over and over again is part of the adventure. And so the main challenge is that changing of that mindset, that winning or topping is not where you derive the joy. It's actually in the process of it and what you learn through the process, be it actually feeling a lot stronger physically or just the actual skills or problem solving and having that patience to know you can break through eventually.
Well, bouldering really sounds like you're not just strengthening your muscles, but you're also strengthening your mindset here. Well, an aspect of Boulder Planet that sort of stood out to me was your active practice in sustainability, namely through the Boulder Planet Preserve and Protect Environmental Pact. You have a zero single-use plastic policy in place within Boulder Planet, which includes not selling the single-use plastic bottled drinks and also encouraging them to use the water coolers to refill their reusable water bottles instead. Has this impacted your business in any way at all?
When we first started, I think a lot of people found it very inconvenient because they just want to bring their kopi, their bubble tea inside the gym. And then sometimes we will have to tell them, would you like to consume that outside first or don't bring it in? Or some people will be like, can I buy bottled water? And then we have to tell them we don't, but we have cups. So you can use the cup, fill it up with water, and you just have to wash it later on. And they'll be like, I have to wash it later.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I think at the very beginning, the mindset of the people that we have at the gym was, I guess they were a bit confused because I'm here to climb. So why can't I just have the things that I want?
I just want to drink this,
Yes. Yes. But over time, people have understood that this is something that Boulder Planet values a lot. And just to link it back to climbing started outdoors. People climbed mountains and boulders. And so for us, my business partner and myself, we do feel that climbing is intangibly linked to the outdoors, and that is why we care. So eventually people understood this in our almost 4 years in existence. People have understood that Boulder Planet cares about this. And even though maybe it's not always so strict, people have understood that this is what we stand for, and they start thinking and becoming more conscious of it.
Oh, wow. That's a very interesting concept, and I love it. Now, one of the key takeaways from this is living an active lifestyle through bouldering with Boulder Planet. How has the climbing community in Singapore grown in recent years, you think? And what contributions has Boulder Planet made to this growth?
So the climbing community worldwide has grown a lot. I think this is thanks to sport climbing being included in the Tokyo Olympics. So it's becoming more mainstream. Nowadays as well, climbing is almost an alternative to, let's say, yoga or spin. So people are seeing it as a lifestyle sport. When I first started, people thought we were crazy and we were like, adrenaline junkies who just want to like hang beside the mountains and swing around. But nowadays, people realize that actually it's quite accessible with proper guidance, with proper intro classes, and with the community behind sharing what they have learned through climbing. People realize that they don't need to be afraid to get started, that it is accessible and it's just childlike fun.
Right, childlike fun. Well, what advice then would you give to someone interested in trying out bouldering for the first time?
I think what I would tell you is to show up.
Show up.
Yes. So take that plunge, just like I did 14 years ago, right? Take that plunge and stick at it, because climbing will meet you where you are at. You don't need special strength. You don't need to have the highest fitness level. There's no magic to it. You just have to get started and do what your body naturally can do, which is to step up on things and hold on things. So when you start doing that, you'll realize that you are capable more than you'd imagine.
And falling is not embarrassing because we fall all the time more than we stand up. Well, now before we let you go here, Patrice, looking ahead, what's next for Boulder Planet? Are there any new obstacle challenges in the works?
Right now, we are carefully planning our expansions across Southeast Asia, including in the markets that we exist in Singapore, Thailand, and Indonesia, because not only do we want to build the space, we also want to build the community around it. So we want to continue making conscious decision in how we expand throughout. And we also want to continue supporting the community and the talents that we see. So providing equipment, resources to talented athletes is what we will continue to do, so that the sport as a whole, not just us as a business, but the sport as a whole can grow forward.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Patrice, for joining me today.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was Patrice Verosil, who's a co-owner and director of Boulder Planet Southeast Asia. This has been The Right Business with me, Hongbin Jeong.
To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at audio.sg or download the audio app. That's AWEDIO, audio at the App Store and Google Play.